Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Welcome to your daily Sun Sign Love Connection readings. And well, welcome to the last day of the month, November 30th, 2020. My goodness, right? Well, today is in fact the full partial lunar eclipse in Gemini. I mentioned it was yesterday. I believed I had seen that it was in some places the 29th and 30th, but regardless, it is happening now. And I believe it started in the United States like 4:30 this morning in Gemini. So you may have been feeling the effects for a couple weeks. You know, that's what the eclipses do versus a full moon. They're like a full moon on steroids, right? They have way more power behind them. It's a super moon. So you probably have looked in the sky in the last couple of days and thought, oh, it's a full moon. When in reality, it wasn't completely full. It still looks like it. And it will be tonight. So I always suggest too that you get all your beautiful gems and stones and put them in a nice container, maybe a little water, and set them out because they really reignite and build up their, you know, their power and the energy when they have the full moon to bring that burst of energy to them. And especially, like I said, an eclipse. So I think that this eclipse is going to be very, very powerful, but very positive. And it really is going to focus on a few major points for all of us. And that would be about communication, you know, connection, commerce, anything having to do with expression, wanting to unite. Now, Gemini is the air sign, and that's the words, the mind, the thoughts, the ability to express. Once again, you know, air is movement and very much of the mind, and it doesn't matter what form of expression, but really that networking and connection that has been lost this year, that wants to really rev it up again. I know for myself, that was the thing that personally I was affected by, was obviously the lack of connection. And one of the first things on my to-do list, it's not necessarily a New Year's resolution, but my first thing, and then with the help of the new moon solar eclipse next month on the 14th in Sagittarius, new ideas, new intentions, new ways to look at about our future, truth-seeking, honest to God, just passionate, forward-thinking of how we want to live our lives and what has happened, obviously, this year combined, and the energy to do it, and just the trust and the magic, if you will, to manifest that and to write down those intentions. Excuse my voice. It's phenomenal. It's really exciting. It's good. It's new. And I was going to say that I want to definitely make a point in a safe way to establish a more broader connection with you on YouTube, and to expand and evolve, and certainly on a smaller scale with family, just to reconnect and just feel that feeling, because it's what makes me my happiest. And I do read about love connections, and that is in all different ways, you know, all different forms and types of loves in our life. So speaking of which, I am going to be picking for the last day of the month the final featured sign, which is random, whereas I go around the zodiac sign in a structured way, from Aries to Pisces, twice in the month, which is the beginning, of course, and mid. At the remainder of the month, we have those few final days, and I like to pick, and this time I've really kind of wanted to do a tribute to the same sun signs. So we're going to pick the first featured sign, which I then will consider the highlighted as well, because it'll be the same. And many, many times there are this connections and loves and, you know, committed people to each other that are the same sun sign. And it's Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio and Scorpio. I love that. And I love it because, first and foremost, right now Venus is still in the sign of Scorpio. And so that's very intense and very passionate and very deep when it comes to love. I like the deepest. A water sign, you're receptive and very feeling and emotional, and with Venus in the picture, which is an air sign, interestingly enough, in addition with the Gemini full moon, very synchronous, it's a very harmonious energy. And Venus is about love and money and magic and feeling good, looking good. Your relationship takes on a better note. It just feels softer and easier, and it flows, and especially being water. So that's perfect. I like that, Scorpio, to end the month and to have it be, Scorpio and Scorpio. So, ruled by Pluto, Scorpio, you have that depth to you to be able to transform your life, your relationships, your work, your inner being, your outer world. Pluto's the deepest transformational planet. We've had it very strongly in Capricorn, and it sorts out, and it digs deep, and it really is almost harsh in the way it just says, that's not working, that's not who I want to be, this is how it's going to be, this is how I want to succeed moving forward, and not mincing words about it. This is very, very steadfast energy, especially in a Earth sign, but even with of course, Scorpio being the ruling planet. It's the real deal, and it's not always comfortable. Change isn't always something that's easy for people, but it's essential and it's evident in our lives. Either we make it happen or it will happen to us. We know that, right? So, and then, that's basically the whole idea with the Scorpios. They are extremely, extremely able to just really understand the human psyche, people in general, and they do it both with their intuition and their incredible psychic abilities, as well as just this desire and drive that they have to really go deep into the understanding of psychology of people and the world and how it works, and life and death, and all the important real things that are what makes life and its existence and its very strong studies and beliefs and all of those things. And it's also about revealing truth, if not just for yourself, but with everybody, and certainly your special significant other, your connection. Truth is what has to happen in so many ways, and it's been compromised this year. I don't know myself sometimes. I've been really perplexed and curious as to why. I always felt really strongly. I have a couple of really important planets in Scorpio, so I've always kind of been the detective kind of person, and I don't just settle with, surfacey, that's that. I'm going to look into it even more, because I'm not convinced, and it doesn't feel right. It's not sitting well with me, and that's your first real indication that it's worth looking into more, right? If for no one else, for yourself, just to satisfy your own needs. But I just would say that a lot of truth is coming out, and it has been very, very deceptive in a lot of ways. Neptune was retrograde for a long time, since June, and that station forward, so it's still very foggy. Neptune is about illusion and deception, the latter, more shadowy side to it. It is about the underworld, the unseen, the fantasy part of our lives, right? It's in Pisces. Piscean is very artistic and creative and fantasy-like anyway. But for all of us, it's going to clear up some things and make things much more vivid, I guess, and focused, as far as not only the Gemini influence, very much focused, very much mind of mercurial, ruled by Mercury, very, steadfast when it comes to, as with Scorpio, sharp, clear. Things are becoming very, very clear. So I hope what I'm saying is making sense and is clear to you, because it's all about how we communicate and reach others and, effectively look into things and find out what's true for ourselves, right? So that's a lot. That says a lot. So when you have two Scorpios, there's as much intensity with one as another, but they're real with each other. They're deeply loving and caring and loyal. And as I said, they can be very intense when it comes to that. They're known as a fixed sign, so they're very set in their ideals and how they feel. When they feel a certain way, there's no mistaking it. You know it, you understand. You don't have to be speaking. You sense their energy as they do you. But I love it because they can be amazingly, incredibly good friends, and they're going to be truthful and authentic with you. And that can be hard sometimes, you know, but you want that. You really, really do in the end. And they'll be there for you. They're, like I said, one of the most loyal, and they're in for a long term, and they really, whatever they put their mind to, they're very, very interested in doing the best and being extremely well, and nothing will stop them or you know, deter them from their paths. So I feel a really beautiful, harmonious feeling between the Scorpios in all connections right now, which is good. It's a lighter feeling, and you know, things have been moving along, I think, smoother than they have, but there's still more to come. You know, we're not finished. These eclipses will reveal even more. And for the positive, like I said, energy, live movement, more, you know, extremes perhaps. There's definitely duality with the Geminis, so it's kind of a frivolous, kind of fickle, quick moving energy, but it's still leading to something that will help us to express and grow. And communication is key for so many people, right? So I'm going to read 3 major categories in regards to this beautiful highlighted Scorpio relationship, and I will then read an individual message for every other zodiac sign in connection with your Scorpio connection. Okay, whatever that may be. So let me set this aside here, and I will explain it as we go along. Beautiful. And fantastic. I'll finish with some beautiful oracle messages. And then next month, which is tomorrow, already, December, I will be pulling out all new tarots and oracles because I have some new ones, and I'm excited to read the messages. So let me get to that. But we are using the Gilded Tarot right now. And so the very first card is always the catalyst reading that led you to this reading. And it is also the overall energy that you've been feeling and what you're feeling at this moment as we enter into December with this beautiful full moon influence that can last quite some time when it's an eclipse, 6 months to a year. The messages and the information and the communication that's coming through is going to be something that's super important to you and will really change things for you in the months to come. And you have the Empress, so this is absolutely beautiful. You know, it is the queen of creation, of creativity, of artistic endeavors, of really putting your heart and soul into whatever it is that you're really focused on. And it has to do with, I always refer it to, generally this card doesn't really show it as much, but this particular tarot deck, which is the Gilded Tarot, but it does show a process of development, or, you know, it's usually a woman who's holding a child, okay? So there's a seed that's been planted. You're going through the process. It's beginning to grow and to, you know, become bigger and expanded, and it's like that of a pregnant woman. And then the labor, you know, that's involved, it's sometimes, and especially during labor, can be extremely difficult or challenging or painful. And it's, you know, it's the canal, it's like that tough spot, getting through what you can, my goodness, this year, and then getting through it. And the most incredible, life-changing, phenomenal experience that you've ever had has just happened, and it's then something that'll affect you and be with you the rest of your life. So this is huge. This is something that could be, well, it could certainly be the love connection that you have with each other. It's that intense with the Scorpio, but it's also just feeling so beautiful about knowing how hard you've worked, or how much this particular situation, whatever it is, how much it means to you and how you're seeing the progress. And you might have even questioned it for a while, but you don't need to anymore. You recognize how beautiful things are, how they were going to be. The children, perhaps, like I said, having a child, discussing having a child. This is huge. This is life-altering, situations, or the birth of an idea, like I said, or wanting to start something, a new, job or creative endeavor. Something with technology would really make sense now, because with a lot of the planets going into Aquarius this coming year, 2021, that's all about science and futures and medicine and well, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. All of those things are what Uranus rules, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be slow, but it's going to continue to be with us, this kind of energy, for decades and decades to come. So it's a whole different start for us, and it's beautiful, and it feels super heartfelt and very emotionally, there's much emotion involved with it. So I just love that. It's one of my favorite cards, because it represents you and your ability to manifest to the extent that you can, and you can do anything and be anyone. And that's what's going on. So that's your overall energy. You're feeling very, very motivated and driven right now. So I love that. And then the next category is the possible blessings or obstacles. And I love it because it is the Queen of Cups. So there you are, Scorpio, in your energy, feeling your energy and feeling at home and at peace with that. And the Queen is the maternal side of all of us, the driven part, the nurturing part that just is absolutely out there to help everyone, yourself, clearly wanting to share and express love, express emotion, once again, the expression of it outwardly, not so much inward, which is a lot of what happens with Scorpio. It's coming out. It's not, well, it can be very internalized, of course, but that has been, and it's coming outward. And there's great love. There's great love. Now, this is Cancer, Scorpio, or Piscean when it's the cups. It's absolutely beautiful. It's so fulfilling and enriching. And it's perfect because you're in your element is what I'm feeling. So I really, really love that for you. And then the last category is financial for this beautiful highlighted Scorpio, because, well, we need finances, we need money in this world, even though we're spiritual and we think, yes, there's always enough, and I do believe that. There's unlimited bounties in our lives, and we have to believe it and create that and feel it and see it and visualize it and all those things. We are a part of the creator, the creation, the ability to attract and law of attraction. But the money is essential, in this 3D world. We need it. We need to function with it. We need to feel secure. We need the stability of it and the security of it, right? To build upon and to feel good and to have what it is we truly want. And you have the Page of Pentacles. So that's the beginning. That is the beginning. It's a youthful kind of energy. It could have to do with children, and you might be helping them in some way financially, because it's what we do with our children. It's absolutely something that you hold near and dear. You are definitely devoted to your children. They mean everything to you deeply, and guiding them. It tells me that it could be the beginning of an idea or an enterprise that is pretty new. So there's still things to work out, little tweaks, with this full moon culminating, really putting your mind and focusing on just exactly what it is you're wanting and how you're going to express it and really have it reach others and so forth. As I mentioned, it's really about the new moon next month, and really initiating and writing down your intentions moving forward. How much do I want to make? What do I want to see improve financially in my world of stability, my fundamental everyday, work, maybe you're getting opportunities for new jobs coming in, starting your own, maybe a second business. Yeah, like I said, it's new, so it's still kind of immature, in the immature stages, but very, very capable of growing, right? That's what happens with the coins. And it could be slower moving. The coins do represent that, but they're very stable and permanent when they do come into play, should you feed them accordingly and really nurture that. You know, whatever it is you're starting and you've thought about, maybe the whole year, it's time. And I mean, it's all about timing. So this is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like there's definitely prosperity and abundance in your life and going forward. And you know you work hard, and you know you have what it takes, and always believe in yourself and know that. So those are beautiful messages for this beautiful highlighted Scorpio connection combo. And so then I'm going to pick a card for every other sign regarding and connecting to Scorpio. So let's just go with right off the bat, clockwise, Libra and Scorpio. You know, I love it. I have a lot of Scorpio people in my life. I think it's because we're right next to each other. We just kind of get each other's vibes. We understand each other. On first meeting, it's like, there's something about you that works. I understand you, even though we're very different. Because air is mind and water is feeling. That's what I think really works. You can collaborate mentally, and you can collaborate on a physical and emotional level, because Libras love balance. They love physical love and affection. They are ruled by Venus, which is all about, like I said, love and money and beauty and arts and creativity and aesthetically seeing things that look good, looking good yourself, caring about how you look, caring about how you feel. And what having, you know, Venus and Scorpio right now, there's that simpatico feeling that's happening, probably more than it might have other times. There's an attraction happening. There's no denying that. And, you know, relationships mean everything to Libra, no matter what they are. And that's always been the key thing to them, and making them work and working through the challenges and the difficulties and the differences. That I thrive on that. I'm a Libra. I literally thrive on that. And then when you get past that and you move forward, it just feels even stronger of a connection. You just feel even more love. And there are limits. We all have our limits. There's a bunch of different things I could say, but this is a general reading, and this feels really good. What is your message? Well, you have the Four of Pentacles. So right off the bat, you're holding things kind of close to you. There's this almost possessive feeling, and I feel that very strongly with these two. And I know there is a tendency for Scorpios to be possessive in their love, in their money, in their life. You know, that's just what they have. That's one of their traits. And, you know, it can be, you know, overwhelming, but at the same time, it can just be a loving, you know, I want to take care of you. I want to nurture you and really kind of hold you close and, you know, feel the love and the power with the emotional intimacy we have. It's feeling pretty good because you have what you need right now. You don't necessarily have an overabundance amount of it, but you're comfortable. And it's the Pentacles, you know, and you're going to make sure you don't overdo things. You're going to kind of keep an even keel, and just for now to the end of the year, to really understand more, because you want to make sure you understand as much as possible. And those things are being revealed, certainly with money and the government and all the things that are pretty convoluted and unsure right now. It's coming forth. So I like that. I think it feels good. I feel like it's a positive message for you. And yeah, feeling like you're feeling okay. You're feeling balanced. It's good. 4 is a balanced number. It's this year, actually. It's 4 walls, stability. You know, it's just you have enough. So many times we think we need more when we have enough, right? So then we go on to Virgo and Scorpio, which I love. This is a very common connection, and you know, I see it a lot. I see people very often gravitating to each other that are Virgo and Scorpio, and it makes a lot of sense. Virgo's earth, Scorpio's water. Virgo is set and you know, grounded and very much into nature and natural things, and you know, very down to earth is the best expression I love to use, because that's what they are. You talk to them and you feel their authenticity, their sincerity. They come and talk directly to you. You know, they're not trying to hide anything. They usually don't wear, a lot of times they're not interested in a lot of makeup or anything. They look good, but it's this natural beauty. You love that, Scorpio. You don't like people that are that put on airs. You can sense it a mile away, and it's never been something that's attractive to you. So, you know, and I don't mean you don't like people who wear makeup, Scorpio. I'm saying you want to know that a person is sincere, and you have that with Virgo. And they're a mutable sign. They're very adaptable, very capable. They are very intelligent. They have, their ruling planet is Mercury. You know, right now I think it's, is it Jupiter and Mercury that are conjuncting? Or is it Saturn? I think it's Saturn and Mercury. Either way, it's very clear communication and being able to talk and to have an ease about it, in addition to the Gemini full moon, which is about communication and thinking and forward movement and, you know, all the beautiful things I already expressed. This has a really good vibe to it. Let's see what your message is. Six of Wands, you know, victorious. You are feeling kind of high on the horse. You have support from you, whether it be family or community. People are recognizing you. You're being acknowledged for your hard work, your perseverance, your, you know, just your ambition, your drive. You know, this is fire. Wands are fire. So you kept it going. You know, you've been working hard. A lot of people work double the time they ever had during this year versus ones that had no work. I think you're in the category of working really hard, but you are getting recognition and it makes you feel good. And why wouldn't it? You know, you don't ask for that attention, but it's coming. And you deserve it, and I love it. And you both feel really good in this connection, in this relationship. So fantastic. Moving forward, you know, things are going to be even more celebratory. Then you have Leo and Scorpio. This is always interesting. And I see it because it is, it's very, very passionate, very energetic, to say the least, with water and fire. I think it makes sense. It's one of those things where there's always this kind of tension that's happening. It's exciting. It's like I said, passionate. Leo is a fire sign that has the ruling planet as the sun, the brightest star in the universe. You know, the sun signs are our egos and our desires and our strengths. And Leos are very strong, and they are very determined to share and to lead and to be in charge and to, you know, take center stage. And you're okay with that. You can be that way yourself, Scorpio, but in a whole different way, a whole different realm. So you can just sit back and allow this Leo to express and to roar and to, you know, and you will cater to that as long as there's, you know, that beautiful flexibility and understanding between you two, because you're both fixed signs. So when you have differences, allow those and embrace the fact that you're different. And I think you do. It just depends on your temperament, nature versus nurture, all of those things, and how you grew up. That's a big part of our lives in addition to astrology. But passion is huge for both of you. And heart-centered, you know, Leo, they definitely care. They care a great deal for everybody that they care about. And here you have the Three of Pentacles. Growth and prosperity and help and, you know, just thriving and determination to build and to become wealthy and abundant. And, you know, just really, really a focus is in mind, but also this grounded energy of determination, which is what the fixed signs have. You deserve what you're getting because you are definitely working to improve. You're working to enhance whatever it is. And you're not just doing it haphazardly. You're really, really doing extremely well. And it's being recognized, so you're getting help. But I love that. You know, Pentacles, you know, are fundamental things in life that we need. And it's growing. And, you know, we had to wait this year. We had to wait for a lot of things. We had controversial conversations, all these things, and now it's starting to show, and there's the fire in the background showing, I'm not stopping, I'm not letting go. That is beautiful. And then you have Cancer and Scorpio, which is beautiful. 2 water signs, both very, very emotionally led. That's how they live their lives, through their feelings and their emotions. And, you know, the sensitivity of Cancer is really, they're very, very, I always say sentimental. And they really are almost shy in some ways. Not all of them, but some of them are shy when it comes to how they feel. They may not come right out and say it. They may give you little hints. And you kind of dig that. You know, this little back and forth thing can happen if it's related in romance. But guess what? With this Venus and Scorpio, that's all kind of going by the wayside. You are intensely sought after each other. You are really going to decide that I'm going to speak out, and if it's not right, so be it. But I'm going to put out my energy of my vulnerability, my desire to connect and love. And boy, when a Cancer loves and cares for you, they're going to care for you big time. They love to be at home. They love, a lot of times, their home bodies. They want to make sure that everything is working well in the home a lot of times, in addition to outside work. It's not a gender-related situation whatsoever, but yeah, that's their key thing, is making sure the love of their family and everything is being taken care of, and the security is there, and working hard for that. And once again, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. A lot of energy of Earth for you. And by the way, we've had a lot of planets still in Capricorn, so that makes sense. You're feeling that, and it's very synchronistic with water. Water and Earth do very well together. So things are really looking up for you. And I can't say that's always been the case, but the Queen, once again, when it comes to the court cards, like the pages and the knights and the kings and the queens, it doesn't mean you have to be a female or male, but you're exerting the very powerful, mature energy of really setting forth huge amounts of energy about, you know, the need to help, to give, to sustain. And the generosity is extremely well seen and noted. And that's what you have in your heart. And that's what can come forward for you. And it can be as simple as your relationship wanting to move in together and maybe establish an understanding of joining forces financially, and, you know, just wanting to be secure and safe in this beautiful relationship. That's what's coming forth. That's absolutely gorgeous. And who knows where it can go, right? Making the right investments are really a part of it. And, you know, maybe somebody who's very Earth, has a lot of Earth qualities, like the Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgos in your life. You know, maybe they're helping to establish this, and they happen to just want to really be a part of collaboration and making sure you are feeling safe and secure financially and otherwise. Then we have Gemini and Scorpio. Well, you know, here's this full moon in Gemini. So you're going to be feeling Gemini, whether it's a relationship or not. It is a connection. You're feeling the vibes. You're feeling the very immediate and powerful desire to communicate, to share, to express. The focus is very, very sharp. The duality is there with, you know, changeable ideas and possibility of more than one way to go about this expression, whether it be written, you know, spoken, social media. Very, very pronounced. Fun, light, you know, sociable, loving, friendly. All the beautiful, powerful things that come from Gemini influence. And the two of you can really, really have a good time and really maybe collaborate on something having to do with writing, or, you know, a book or screenplay, or something very artistic comes to mind right now. And you have the beautiful Queen of Wands. Wow. So the Queen, once again, it's fiery, it's ambition, it's motivation, it's making it happen, bringing it forth, seeing it through. You know, this is amazing, and this is that nurturing side of that. So this is the real deal. I mean, they are all about this. They're not going to hold back. They're going to give. They're going to make sure that whatever has to happen will happen physically, spiritually, verbally, especially with this, full moon. But there's passion, boy. There's that Venus influence again as well. And by the way, I forgot to say, but we're all feeling the fire aspect of Sagittarius season that we're in. And that's a fire sign. So Mars is in Aries, another fire, energy that's affecting us right now. But beautiful, because it's giving us the energy and motivation again. It was in retrograde and that's stopped. So beautiful energies, boy, I'll tell you. Your relationships and connections are really important, and they're very, very, they're the maternal, more feminine side that wants to really nurture and help and feel how people feel and help with that, help to make people feel good. Then we have Taurus and Scorpio, your polar opposite. There's that earth and water. It's very, very helpful. It's very, very harmonious energies that work together, or elements. And, we have Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. So there you go. Right now, you're both feeling very lovey. There's a little more, expression about romance than maybe normal. It could be definitely a collaboration in business, of course. Friendship is going the next mile. You want this friendship in your life for the long term, because the Taurus is an earth sign, which is permanence and stability. They too are fixed and determined. They love money and luxury with that influence of Venus. And they're going to make sure that they provide. They are very interested, and they love all the senses, and so do you. That really, really works for you. Intuition is strong for both of you. The message for you two is the Six of Swords. That's so beautiful. So this influence that I mentioned so many times now with this Gemini moon about communication as an air sign is coming through, because there's been so much confliction about communication and untruths and literal deception about, things being said that are just not honest, and that's something you're moving away from. We're all moving away from it. The clarity is coming through, like it or not. And then with that influence of Scorpio and Venus and Scorpio is revealing. It is revealing the truth. And you really, whether you believe or accept it or not, somewhere in our souls and spirits, we know that we need to know what is truth. Because, the truth could be different for me than you, but universal truth, if you will. The gut understanding and knowing will be very, very clear. And that's important for the two of you. So moving into smoother waters that way, you've got that full moon, which is representative of today and how it's going to affect you for a long time going forward. I think it's beautiful. It represents all air, but definitely Gemini. And nothing wrong with wanting to, work towards and move towards better, easier time, right? I think it's really important. And then you have Aries in Scorpio. So this is a very complementary energy in itself. It is that fiery and water, passionate kind of steamy, unmistakable attraction that's there. But it's more than attraction. Aries is fire. Aries, like I said, has Mars in their as a ruling planet that's been in Aries for a long time now, will be through January. And that actually was your original, back in historical mythology, that is actually Scorpio's ruling planet too. So there's this just synergy, this understanding, because you have that aggression and drive for bettering and for evolving and moving and making things happen. That's exactly what Aries is about. They're cardinal signs, so they really initiate. They like to be busy. They like to keep doing things. They're on from one thing to the next. The worst thing you can do, which happened, was to say, oops, can't do anything right now, Aries. Got to sit still. It's hard. They can make it happen by, keeping exercising or some kind of routine. They got to keep that energy going. Can't keep it blocked. But it was tough on them. So that's all being released, and it's beautiful for you. And you have the Page of Swords. So initial, again, with the energy of youthfulness in regards to communication. Maybe there's a new invitation coming around, maybe a new interest in the two of you that you just met. It's still new. It's still kind of immature, as they say, with the child kind of energy, or maybe just a youthful energy coming from either one of you, because Aries almost is like a child. You know, they're new and they go for whatever they want. They don't really think about it, and they're just like, they don't know any different. They're leaders. They're you know, super confident. They're just determined, and they're not going to let anybody stop them. And there's that fiery, you know, Mars, but they're also like, they tend to be really youthful most of their life, and that's really kind of fun and exciting in a lot of ways. So, or having to do with children, something about discussion with the two of you about children, wanting children. This could be the year, this could be it, or you're about to have one. If so, congratulations. That's always a beautiful thing. And then Pisces and Scorpio, beautiful once again, both water, both very, very intuitive, old soul Pisces, very spiritual minded or religious or whatever. It's just who they are. You know, you look at them and you're like, it feels as though you know things. I can see in your eyes, you're kind of somewhere else. They're very artistic and creative, and you're just kind of this just easygoing energy most of the time. I mean, they have their moods, as we all do, but you have to consider they're these two fish that are continually swimming and wanting to go with the flow, but the currents aren't always going in their direction. So with that, and the fact that they take on everyone's energies as a water sign, more so I think than the other two at times, they empathize, they feel people's pain, they want to help, and they can leave themselves behind in that effort, which is a little hard on them and their body. And so you can kind of just really support that and show them the need to really just stay true to who they are. Scorpio, you're very intense that way, and they're more, you know, easygoing. They don't like confrontation, and you don't have a problem with confrontation, Scorpio, as long as it's leading to something that's going to benefit and have a better outcome. You know, there's that Mars in you. I still think is a very prominent part of who you are in regards, as well as Pluto. But so let's see what your message is. Well, you have the Hierophant. That is kind of just the standard, you know, wisdom, traditional way of handling things. There's that fixed aspect that you have. It's about religious rites, you know, maybe getting married, ceremonies. And I also like to put into the mix that this is also a teacher or mentor in our lives that makes a difference, but has one kind of set way about expressing that and kind of set in their ways. But also I always think of it as our higher power. Are you just sticking with one way of looking at it? Do you need to have a different perspective? Talking about it, conversing, using this beautiful energy of the Gemini moon to open up and crack open conversations you haven't, and really delve deep like you do, Scorpio, but love each other all the more and get to places you never have. Continually growing, and you know about the regeneration and the life and the birth and the phoenix and rising again. That's absolutely beautiful. I feel like there's engagements in the not too distant future, commitments. And I think you both will do really well together because you have a lot in common, and you really are very good for each other on many levels. And then you have Aquarius and Scorpio, and that is it's big. It's very common. I know a lot of Aquarians. Actually, Aquariuses are one of those signs that we all can get along with everybody, but some are a little more challenging, and that's important to people. People like that challenge. They want to grow and to, you know, break themselves open and to understand more about who they are. You never know yourself better than when you're in a relationship, right? But Aquarius is an air sign, so there's this air predominance that's happening, you know, with Gemini full moon today. A lot of the major planets starting next month, from Saturn and, you know, Jupiter, and then, you know, eventually the sun sign going into Aquarius. We are in the age of Aquarius. It's been around forever. It's our modern, it's the golden age. It's the age of, once again, scientific discoveries and innovations and space and, you know, Mars and all the things we hear about, and all these things really starting to culminate. It's like we're living this now. We're breaking free of traditional Capricorn. All of that is breaking and eroding and falling apart, to the new and the different and the more expressive and fair and air element of mind, and just all sorts of beautiful things. That intrigues you a lot. You like that. Now, the air Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus. Once again, that's the whole science thing, that the unpredictable planet, and it's been a part of Uranus, it's been the ruling planet of Aquarius, their whole life. So they're very familiar with the changes in their lives that come and unexpectedly, and they kind of they're used to it, but they also prepare for it, I guess, if you can, because we have to prepare for the unknown. This year is a perfect example. Now, I was so fortunate because I couldn't work for 7 months, and I started, and it's still not really busy, right? But for some reason, because I'm older, all the variables you want to put out there, I think it was guidance, and I'm praying that I was listening to my intuition and all of those things combined, which all of us are capable of, and you certainly are, the two of you. I'm sure you had great discussions in this year to be able to figure out what works. But, Uranus can bring things in, it'll take things out, right? As do the eclipses. And I was so fortunate to be able to make it last, and then finally getting some help, like after 4.5 months. And now it's like dwindling, and just knowing it's going to be okay, right? You both are going to work towards stability, for, once again, extreme need for communication. Aquarius is about helping as many people as they can. They're very sociable and friendly. They're independent. So if you have a possessive side to you, Scorpio, you're going to have to kind of curtail that, which can very well change with these eclipses. It may give you that whole different perspective of knowing you have the security you need. This is someone that loves you and cares for you, and they're going to be there for you. So I have this upside down, but I'm going to do it this way for you. Your message is, that's so beautiful, the star, wishing upon your dreams. And this is representative of, this is the card for Aquarius. So this is very important that this came up. And like I said, I think the two of you have been on this journey together to really see in the future just how expansive it can be, and to really work on the communication side of things. Because I know for a fact with the beautiful Scorpions I've met, and my own little bad self with the, Scorpio influences in Neptune and Venus and my North Node, I don't mean to hide things from people, but there's just certain things that are inside of me that I guess I'm not really expressing to people. I guess if they asked me, I would mention it, but I don't feel like I can just necessarily just come out. Certainly not with everybody. Well, that's starting to change in you, and you're feeling a natural progression of wanting to open up more and wanting to express, and certainly in this relationship. Because if you do, you're going to open up a world of incredible opportunities, and your manifestations and dreams will absolutely be coming to life. I love that for you. That's a very important message. And then the Capricorn and Scorpio, it's wonderful. It's been Capricorn year. I just explained all of that. It's a bunch of planets in Earth and in Capricorn, and it was their year with having Jupiter in their sign. That happens every 12 years for each of us. And then we go into, Aquarius, and then Pisces, and so on and so forth. It's one of the best years of your life, regardless of whether it was a pandemic year, because opportunities and fortunistic things will come to you no matter what's happening. And what you choose to do with that and utilize will affect you the next 12 years. So I love anybody involved with Capricorn, because they want to help, and they're great at what they do. They're very, very stubborn in a way. They're not a fixed sign. They're a mutable sign. They're a cardinal sign. They initiate the winter month or season, as all cardinals do. They represent each beginning of each season. So they're initiators and doers, and they're kind of like behind the scenes, and they have a more stern energy, without a doubt. Not necessarily outwardly expressive or, demonstrative, but stern and steady nevertheless. Their ruling planet is Saturn, so they know all about that restrictive and very focused energy that will get them to where they need to go, because they're not stopping until they get there, and they want to be successful, and they're incredibly capable of extremely amounts of wealth. They could be very wealthy in a lifetime. So, and they're really working towards that. You love that. Both of you can really accomplish a lot and build a great deal together. What is your, ooh, you have the Tower. So the Tower was this year. That's how I look at it. We've all experienced the Tower this year. It shook us up. The good news is the foundation is okay. You still have a lot to work with. Your life was not taken from you. It's the circumstances, the people, the job, the foundation. Like I said, on the bottom is okay. The top has to come down. It has to be redone. We thought about. It'll shake you up in some ways, but it can also be exhilarating and amazing. It can be ideas that you never thought of until something like this year comes along. So please don't look at this as a negative, because yeah, it can be difficult. It can be the Uranus influence, which will be very heavily a part of this coming year with, you know, Aquarius being ruled by Uranus, and that's where, you know, the main planets will be. But it's not a negative necessarily. It can bring in things it never did before that'll change your world in a beautiful, amazing way. And it took the aspects of this year to create that. So, you know, I think it could be something obviously that already happened, and it wasn't pleasant for a lot of us, and I apologize. I'm sorry for that. I know that feeling, but it's only to build something better, and that's what that's about. So you may know what that is already in regards to this connection, but yeah, it's nothing you can't get through. Trust me on that. And then we have Sagittarius and Scorpio. Well, I love Sagittarius. We're in Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius is fire, and you know, they are all about motion and direction, and they love philosophical studies and higher learning and forward thinking and truth, and they are energized and ruled by Jupiter, so they're very fortunate in many ways. And I like the optimism that I see in a lot of Sagittarius. They have that kind of happiness about them most of the time. And it kind of just really is attractive and magnetizes you to them. They're a freedom-seeking sign. They love foreign cultures and all sorts of, you know, worldly events, and they love to travel. You know, that's for darn sure. So prepare yourself for that in this relationship, whatever it may be. And know that some really positive influences can be there when you're with a Sagittarius. And once again, the new moon will be in Sagittarius. So that is going to be all about what I just said. That's going to influence those areas of your life. So there's nothing wrong with that. And understanding, you know, and maybe studying something that you haven't yet and just getting really, really good at it. And you have the 10 of Wands. It makes sense. The Wands are the fire. The 10 is the new cycle, the burdens you've been carrying this year. The lack of being able to do the things you want to do, the taking on too much, you know, which both of you are capable of doing. But knowing that that's stopping, this full moon is going to end that today and forward, should you choose to. Delegate, take away the pressures, work smarter and less. You know, how's that for a concept? And start a channel, start a YouTube, start something on, you know, in technology, which is going to probably blow us away with some new incredible inventions coming out. Be a part of it now. Open yourself up to communication, which is hugely important for this moon. It's good stuff. It's the end of too much, but be careful of your body. Anytime I see this, when it's Wands and stuff, and Mars being in Aries, the other fire sign, just be aware of anything. Accidents, or you might be a little more prone. I'm not a doctor, so these are just little reminders about this particular message. You might stub a toe and those kind of things. It doesn't have to be big, but of course we do have a pandemic, so we want to make sure we're being extra careful, doing the things we've been doing, right? And not being led by fear, but by sensibility, which you both have. And you'll come through with flying colors. And we'll have a new month and a new beginning next year, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's already getting good. It's already better. So those are the messages for every individual connection with you, Scorpios. And now I'm going to read your other beautiful ending oracle messages. Now, I pulled this out, like I said, about a week ago because I absolutely love it, and I just recently got it. And it is called the Motivation Manifesto cards, because they give you that inspiration and that insight, you know, just sentence, maybe two, and you're like, Yes, I want to hold on to that. That feels right. It feels good. And this is just for the two of you, Scorpios, and of course all your connections, but this is about you, and this is the guidance and the love that's being sent to you through the message. And it's a short one. You ready? We must reclaim our agenda with a forceful grip. That's interesting because you've got those little, clip claws, don't you? Hold on to it for all you're worth. Believe in it. Reclaim your agenda, whatever that is for you. That is so perfect. That's what this powerful full moon, can do. But especially the new moon next month. And don't accept anything less. And I know you can do that, Scorpio. You're very, very, very determined and strong and capable and very good at manifesting. So I love that for you. Now, before I go on, I just want to say, please, if you have not subscribed and you feel a resonance with these readings, I'll be here every single day and for as long as I can. Sometimes the uploads have not been successful, and I just do what I can, and I think it'll get better as this year comes along. I believe, and I will. And just your contribution that way is immense, and it helps me so much. And it just takes a moment. It's free. You're not going to get a bunch of spam or any kind of thing like that. YouTube really, really prefers that I continue to grow my channel, and I can continue to share the content and the messages, which is what I'm here for, and that it's my passion and my purpose. So enough of that, but let's read the Psychic Tarot for the heart. So needless to say, it's about our heart. It's about our deepest, strongest feelings, and the heart is the most intelligent organ in the body, as well as, intuitive. Well, you have helpless and hopeless, and it's number 8. Now, 8 is the most manifestive, abundant number in numerology, and you can just create so much with this number. And what's interesting is Scorpio is the 8th house. That is life and death, regeneration, inheritance, other people's money, just beginning and ends, all these things, sexuality, the depths of us, the transformational things. Helpless and hopeless. Well, there's 2 different stairwells. There's a beautiful sun. Recognizing that, we have a bright path ahead should we choose to think and be that. But I don't know exactly what the message is, so I'm going to read that to you. This is by John Holland, and I love it. It just has been really, really perfect, and I know I'll bring it back after next month, I think, but I'll be bringing out a new one next month. So, what is the message for you, beautiful Scorpios? Control. Keywords: master, influence, accept, compassion, patience, and confidence. Well, that's all of you rolled up in a big, big, beautiful ball. In order to flourish, relationships must be fluid, like water, and free rather than overly rigid and controlled by emotional neediness or insecurity, which is the shadow side, right? It's there, but it doesn't have to be utilized. It's important to master your emotions so that they do not rule the relationship. A partnership based solely on emotion, this is unbelievable. As an emotional of a sign as you are, Scorpio. This is not a coincidence, this is for you. A partnership based solely on emotion is out of balance and out of control. Self-control is the key here. Act from a combination of emotion and intellect, which you have so much of, Scorpios. And your relationship will thrive and grow. Be sure that your influence is gentle and loving. This is not the time for domination. This card asks you to accept other person's uniqueness and to not require that person to conform to a mold of your choosing just to make you feel more comfortable. Affirmation: I control my emotions and embrace peace. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, the general archetype tarot card would be strength for this. You did not get that, but you know you are. And I really love that this came out because I know you understand it, but I know myself with what I experienced in the relationships of my past. I was a little on the shadow side. I'll just leave it at that. And it's literally left me because I chose to and because I understand now. I wanted to understand. That's the Libra in me, right? Relationships are complex. They're essential in our lives. Love certainly is. But we have to work and we have to be flexible and we have to understand everything it said. I'm going to finish with your super attractor manifestation message, which is really just about feeling deeply emotionally, bringing into our lives the life that we want, the circumstances, the people, the, I don't know, new initiatives and whatever that is for you. Just got to really feel it. And it has to be absolutely balanced with, the energy, bottom line, right? Like attracting like, not thinking, oh, I don't have enough, but I really want millions of dollars. It does not work. So you get the idea. You're a natural manifester. You understand this intuitively. I haven't pulled this in a long time. The universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. And that is so, so very true. Knowing that is essential. And there you are, the bird, the mind, our thoughts. Gemini, big time. Well, I love this. I love you. Thank you for, tuning in and taking the time. And have a great rest of the day. Really take in this wonderful, powerful energy of this informative full moon, okay, in Gemini. And until next time, thanks and bye for now.